Because again, everybody has a dream. Not everybody's gonna execute that dream. My name is Shania, just Shania Vanson, and I have been a filmmaker for the past 11 years, and I have been a full-time director, writer, and producer for going on 3 years now. On today's OnSet Talks, I'm gonna talk about being an indie filmmaker without having an agent or a manager, which I'll be defining as a team. When you have an agent or a manager, you truly have a team. You have an agent who is there focusing on the execution of all your deals, getting you jobs that are paid, making sure that you have opportunity after opportunity coming knocking at your door to make sure that you are making money within this industry. And then when you have a manager, you have someone who's also equally invested in the success of your career. They're thinking about your long-term development. They're making sure that you are moving and executing projects and opportunities in such a way that aligns with who you want to be in this industry. Those are two amazing people, key players to have on your team, especially as a filmmaker, because trying to focus on your art and trying to focus on the business of your art can get very overwhelming and demanding. So having a team is a great thing. However, having an agent and a manager is a very fortunate thing to have and is not necessarily awarded to every single person who is an indie filmmaker, whether you're good at it or not. You can be amazing and still not have an agent or a manager. There are filmmakers who I know who have yet to truly execute a groundbreaking project that sets them up for success that have agents and managers. It just all stems down to the networking, the nepotism. It just all boils down to who decides to take a chance on you and sign you to their project, because managers and agents have quotas to hit and they want to make sure that you are pulling in enough work and enough value to their agency, to their management company, for them to sign you and to invest in you. So again, I know people who have agents and managers who have not worked in years, who have not worked in some times, and then they ended up getting dropped from it. They end up getting dropped within months. I have heard story after story. So please feel very proud that you have an agent and a manager, but also do not feel discouraged if you don't, because it is all a part of the business. It is all a part of time. That is your team. You work together, but also at the end of the day, it does not mean that you cannot move forward and grow within this industry because you do not have these key players on your team. With that being said, let's talk about the things that this team can help you with. When it comes down to truly networking in this industry, there's a thing called general meetings. That is you as a filmmaker, as a writer, director, and or producer, meeting with a lot of these production companies and studios to talk about who you are, who they are, what they're looking for, what you have. It is a general meeting. This is not necessarily your pitch. This is your moment to talk about who you are, to put yourself on their radar, for them to get to know who you are, to put you within their ecosystem. They are constantly getting pitched whenever they go out. As soon as somebody hears that they're an executive, whatever the case may be, they always get pitched to have conversations. And most of the times they do not like to have 1,001 meetings a week. And I don't think anybody would like that. So that is why they usually schedule and meet filmmakers who come through their management teams. The management company already has relationships with these studios and production companies. So that is why they are trusted to say, hey, I have somebody who we think you should meet. That is a part of the first vetting process that then allows the executives to not have to speak to every and anybody and potentially waste their time. Because again, everybody has a dream. Not everybody's going to execute that dream. Whenever they have these relationships already with the management companies, that management company is technically being that first vet. They're vetting those filmmakers already. And once they say they're good enough to be signed to me, now we want you to meet them. We think they have something that you may be interested in. So having a management team is going to be great and pivotal in setting up generals, and great and pivotal in you networking with a lot of these studios and a lot of these networks. You need management to get a lot of these generals. There are ways for you to get generals without management. I have had generals without, and I don't have management, but that just came from networking, actually conversing with somebody, having a rapport with them, and being able to get something on the calendar with them. That is how that was able to get set up. But for you to truly get booked for generals, you either need to be making noise within this industry, i.e. having a project that is doing so well throughout the festival circuit, doing so well online, doing so well on social media, that people are reaching out to speak with you and understand who you are and what you are looking to bring to this industry, or you have a manager who has already vetted you and they're pitching you out for general meeting. Now, a part of this team is also the agent, the person who is putting you out for jobs. That is another benefit of having that person on your team, because they hear about opportunities first. Whenever somebody's looking for a director or a writer or a producer, whatever the case may be, they send out those job opportunities to the agencies. They tell the agencies, hey, who on your roster could fulfill this job? The reason why you do not see a lot of these jobs for these big companies posted online is because they aren't. They're given to agencies. They're sent directly to the agencies because they're going based off of those rosters rosters, because those are the people who vet the potential talent first. You, the filmmaker, are the talent for that. Whenever there's a directing job and there's a studio looking for a director, the agencies will be the one who hear about it, and then the agents are looking through their rosters of directors to see who they can pitch out for those opportunities. Now, if you as an indie filmmaker who does not have that rep on your team, who does not have that teammate, you are still able to hear about these opportunities if you are tapped in enough with the people who also hear about these opportunities. Meaning, producers also get that call. If somebody's looking for a director for a project, if you're a producer who's connected to a certain studio or a certain production company, you may also be contacted to see who you know. If you are the director and you're friends with that producer, hello, ding, 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 that person is going to think of you, hopefully, if they're a good friend. Either way, you can still hear about those things without having that teammate, without having a manager or an agent, and get contacted through it just through the relationships that you have, which is why it's such an important thing when people talk about networking and building relationships and rapport with people. It's that you will be thought of, you will be known based off of the relationships that you have. So you do not necessarily need the team to also get access to those things, but you will get a lot more access when you have that team. And lastly, the consideration of the long-term goals of your career. Being a director, writer, and a producer, a lot of the times you get boxed in this industry. It's like one of the things I can't stand the most about this industry is the box that you get put in. Let's say you make dramas, they'll think that you can't direct a horror, which is foolish, because don't box me in. I know I could direct a horror. Anyway, I was about to rant. Depending on the genre and the medium that you worked in the most, sometimes you can truly get boxed into that. So if you are a producer and you've only produced digital series or TV related things, people will box you into that and not think that you can do film. If you're a director and you've only done dramas, people may not think that you're able to do action or horror. And if you've only done horror and action, they may not think that you're able to do fantasy and drama. It's a box that you get pushed in. However, when you have a team, you have other people who are advocating and pushing you towards opportunities that help expand your career development and how you are presented in this industry. When you do not have a team, that is all on you. You need to make sure that you are looking for and aligning yourself with things that are helping you with your career development. You need to make sure that you're looking for and applying to things and talking to people and getting a part of projects that allow you to expand in the directions that you want to expand in, so you don't box yourself in. Because that is the one thing that I promise you a lot of indie filmmakers will talk about, is trying to make sure they're not boxing themselves into certain things unless they want to. I know some people who strictly want to direct a certain genre, who strictly want to stay within a certain box and a certain medium because that is what they love and that is what they enjoy, and that is okay. But I also know some people who want to direct TV, film, and commercial, and they can. They're skilled enough to do all three, but they just need to make sure they have a team behind them or they're doing it themselves to be able to get through all of those many doors.